Hi scholars, this is Miss C, and I'm excited to work with you today. We will be working on interactive writing throughout this lesson.
Materials.
You will need a paper and pencil for our learning today. Ready? We have 2 new learning targets for today. Please follow along with me as I read them. Our first learning target is, I can make new words using base words and the suffixes full and less. Our second learning target is, I can write a sentence using words with the suffix spelling patterns IBLE and ABLE and high frequency words.
Transition song.
Can you build a word from scratch? A word from scratch? A word from scratch? Can you build a word from scratch using many parts?
Word work.
Today we will look at base words and suffixes. Let's read some word parts and decide where they go on our chart. Ready? Our first word is care. Is care a base word or suffix? Care is a base word. We can add affixes to the end to change its meaning. Let's try another word. Full. Is full a base word or suffix? Full is a suffix. We can add it to a base word to mean full of that base word. Here's our next word. Hope. Is hope a base word or suffix? Hope is a base word. We can add affixes to the end to change its meaning. Here's our next word. Rest. Is rest a base word or suffix? Rest is also a base word. Here's our last one. Less. Is less a base word or suffix? Less is a tricky word because it can be a word by itself. For example, you can say, I have less food than she does. However, today we are going to talk about less when we see it at the end of a word. When it is a suffix, we add less to a base word to mean without that word. I noticed that our suffixes today have opposite meanings. Full means to be full of something, and less means to be without something. Nice hard work, scholars. Go ahead and get your paper and pencil ready so we can build some new words. Let's go. Our first base word is care. Our suffix is full. When we put the base word care with the suffix full together, what new word do we make? Careful. Notice that adding a suffix to this word does not change the spelling of the base word care. How does the suffix full change the meaning of care? Careful describes someone who is full of care. If we switch the suffix to less, the meaning would be the opposite, right? Careless describes someone who is without care. Go ahead and write down the word careful on your paper. Let's try another word. Our next base word is hope. The suffix is less. When we put the base word hope together with the suffix less, what new word do we have? Hopeless. How does the suffix less change the meaning of hope? Hopeless describes someone who is without hope. If we switch the suffix to full, the meaning would be the opposite, right? Hopeful describes someone who is full of hope. Go ahead and write down the word hopeless on your paper. Here's our last word. The last base word is rest. The suffix is full. When we put the base word rest with the suffix full, what is our new word? Restful. How does the suffix full change the meaning of the base word rest? Restful means full of rest. If we switch the suffix to less, the meaning would be the opposite, right? Restless means without rest. Go ahead and write down the word restful on your paper.
Transition song.
Do you know the words will write? The words will write. The words will write. Do you know the words will write on our papers today?
Writing.
For our last activity, let's use words that have the bull sound at the end to write a silly sentence. Here are some words that you can use, starting from the top. We have terrible, lovable, horrible, visible, legible, edible, enable, breakable, flexible. Use your paper and pencil to write a complete sentence using at least 3 words on this list. Don't forget to start your sentence with an uppercase letter and use ending punctuation. I'll leave the list up here while you write. Good luck. Here's the silly sentence I came up with using a few words from the list. If my writing were legible, it would enable my teacher to be more flexible with my grade. As you can see, I use the words legible, enable, and flexible, and they all have the bull sound.
Closing reflection.
How are the suffixes full and less related? Try writing more sentences with words that have the bull sound at the end to make a silly story. Keep practicing, keep writing, and I can't wait to see you next time.